All right.
Hey,
We're live.
we are live.
SammyGuru podcast episode number 36. We're a little late because we had some microphone issues. There are some
Yes.
definitive microphone issues that we had, but it looks like they've been resolved. You guys have to let us know, but
Yeah.
I feel like the microphone issues are resolved, so I think we're good to go.
I think so too.
We're going to be talking a little One UI 7 delays here today. As you know, it's every week now. It's like a permanent fixture on this show. Like we have a One UI 7 delay like built in as a segment of the show now, which is unfortunate because it's not really what I want to talk about on the show every week. But before we get started, Colin's not going to be here tonight. He's got a brand new job. He's doing stuff, and it's his first week on the job. So I guess he probably didn't want to.
Yeah.
He didn't want to clock out early on the first week on the job, so hopefully he'll be back next week. But Tori, how's your week going?
So far the week is honestly going pretty good overall, like with the kids. But it's that stressful time of the school semester because you are running towards the end, right? So I got about 4 or 5 weeks, but all that stuff you periodically put off is now like, okay, like now you really got to do it. So, that's what I've been kind of working through. But I think once I make it to summer, which I think I will make it to, I should.
You think you'll make it? Like
yes.
You might not survive until summer.
You might survive.
Pass away. I hope not, Tori. Not from teaching high school. You'll be okay.
I know. Well, I got about 2 more weeks of college stuff, and then straight through the high school stuff. So hopefully I will.
The kids might not survive till the next grade level. I'm sure they'll survive in life, but they might not survive till the next grade level. But I'm sure you'll survive.
Well, I got the my first period AP pre-calc kids. Their exam is coming up, so I've been stressed. So I think I've been stress projecting onto them, just to get them prepared to make sure that they feel pretty good for that exam. So. It's a tough exam.
It is. Yes. Very tough exam.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Yes, for the kids.
The kids struggle with it.
Yes.
And so you gotta
Hopefully
work.
They get 3s and then some 4s and maybe a 5.
Maybe a 5. 1 5.
Yeah. I'll feel good with a 5.
Or multiple 5s. We'd love to see it.
Yeah,
how's everybody else doing Friday? You guys let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
This is a different time. Well, it's actually the original time of this podcast. Tori and I used to record this podcast for the first 20 episodes when we did audio only at this time every week. So for me and Tori, pretty used to it. The S25 already has One UI 7 MHM, but it doesn't have the same version as the S24 now has. It's very complicated. We'll get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
before we get into it, how was your week? I feel like you always ask me about
that's a good question, Tori. How was it's overall pretty good. I really wish that Samsung would finish the One UI 7 rollout, because as much as it's great for us and we get a lot of clicks on One UI 7 stuff, I'm really tired of covering it. I want to move on to the foldables and the S25 Edge and all that stuff. So I'm getting a little tired of that. But personally, we're doing very well. Family's doing well. Getting ready for the Easter celebration this week. We're going to the they have a thing called like Cottontail Lane at Peoria Sports Complex, kind of like the thing that they had at Christmas with like the candy cane lane.
Yeah, I'm really
stuff for the kids. Jonathan likes to go to that, so we're going to be doing that tomorrow. And then of course we're doing some Easter egg hunts. On Sunday. We got to give the Easter egg hunts. Because the eggs are so expensive, maybe we'll be doing potatoes instead of eggs. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that to the kids. We can still afford the eggs, but it is unfortunate the eggs are so expensive.
Right.
People are like, we can't be buying eggs. They're like $7, $8 a dozen. We can't be doing that. So
no, we need that.
But otherwise, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to the holiday. Should be a lot of fun. So Paul, hope you have a great Easter as well, Paul. I didn't know you were. Is that a Mets hat that you have on there? Are you a Mets fan, Paul?
Yeah.
I had read they delayed the update. They did, but they're back again. They're rolling out in Korea, just not in the U.S. We'll talk about that. Larry's doing great. That's great. I sent you something, Larry, today. I sent Big a package today, too, finally, that has a case and a charger in it, the wireless charger you won. I went to the mail today, so those should be scanned. You guys both should have got some tracking. Everybody else, too. A couple of you guys who won the chargers, by the way, I had Basis send you guys the chargers directly because they offered to send a few out. So I was like, okay, then I'll have you guys send a few prizes. So if you get one from Amazon, that means that Basis sent the charger directly to you. So there's a couple of them. I don't remember who. Maybe you, Dheeb. You might have gotten one directly from Basis. But anyway, you get your charger that you won, but it's just coming directly from the company. Where's the update? It is tied up in logistics and red tape and blue tape and purple tape.
All in limbo.
No, you're going to get One UI 7, generic sports guy. You're just not going to get it as early as you had hoped. It's probably not coming till May. All these people were hyping up like April 22nd as the day for the S23 series. And I kept saying, well, no, if there's these delays on the S24 series, they're going to finish that first. And then they'll start S20. I don't think the S23 will get it till May. We'll see. Telus wrote an article basically saying, that the 22nd doesn't seem likely. I think it'll be May before the S23 series gets it. I hate to tell you that, but I don't want you to think you're going to get it by the end of April. I just don't see it because of this recent delay.
Yeah.
Who knows what else issues they might find now that they had a delay with the S24 and the Z Fold 6 and the Z Flip 6. They might go back and like revise some of the other builds too. So I don't know, probably May. Watching the Cardinals, watching that. I got a couple of bets on a few of the games this evening. Some home run parlays. I love home run parlays. What's up, Ramis? How's your A36 coming along that you won in the giveaway? You're welcome, Dave. No problem. When do I think the S24 Ultras get the update? My money's on Monday. Samsung likes to push US updates on Mondays. I don't know why. It's just a thing they like to do. So, yeah. You got it already? Yeah, a lot of us got it before the pause. So did I. But even if you got it before the pause on your S24, you're still getting another update. It's going to be a smaller update. It's called a hot fix. It means that it fixes whatever it is that they, found the bug. AT&T lagged behind on the first one. They never pushed out the original update either.
Oh, it's just showing that thing about the AT&T.
Yeah. About what?
The AT&T with the.
Oh yeah. Someone mentioned AT&T. So Tori reminded me of a story that we wrote. If you're an AT&T customer, we'll mention it since someone reminded me. I'll forget about it if I don't mention it now. AT&T is trying to screw people over by forcing all of them to switch their auto pay to bank accounts instead of credit or debit cards to get the full discount. So if you have a credit card or debit card as your main auto pay discount, you won't be able to get a discount or the same amount anymore unless you switch it to a bank account, which I think is absolute crap.
I know.
Because they're doing it because they don't want to pay credit card fees. And two, they don't want people to have the opportunity to dispute any charges on their credit card because you can't really do it with the bank account. So we wrote this up to let people know. I mean, I don't know if I lose, I don't know if I was an AT&T customer, which I am. I have an AT&T line. I have like one of every line just for testing.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I leave them over this, but it's pretty annoying. I mean, we put some of our prepaid carrier partners there. If you're like, I hate AT&T and I want to leave. I don't know if I would leave them over this, but it's very annoying that they're doing this. I don't think it's very nice to their customers, screwing people over and making them go to a bank account ACH. Doesn't seem right to me, but I just figured I'd mention it since Tori reminded me because we were talking about AT&T on the update.
Yeah.
And also, just as a fun story to kick off the podcast here at the beginning, since it's always a good time for banter, we posted this story, which is the first story we've ever posted on SammyGuru that's kind of a satire. It's just a funny post. Someone on Reddit made a post claiming that their marriage ended because of One UI 7. So if you guys, I can zoom in, you can show you. This person says, my now ex-wife left me because she has an S25 with One UI 7, while I only have an S23 with One UI 6. She was like, look at how sleek the animations are. Look how smooth everything is. You don't even have a phone that runs One UI 7. I said, honey, I'm going to get it, I promise. But she said, that's what you always say. You said that you're going to get it in late Q4 when it was February, then it was March, and it's early April, and now it's mid-April and you still don't have it. She said she can't live with such a loser anymore, and she took the kids and left. I've been drinking and sobbing the last 2 days, haven't gone to work, haven't eaten. Please, for the love of God, Samsung, give me One UI 7. I miss my kids. Please. So obviously, I assume this is a joke. I hope so. I mean, when we wrote it, I was assuming this is a joke. But I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a joke. But we wrote it up because I thought it was kind of funny. Everyone's kind of, I understand people want the update, but I mean, hopefully no one lost their marriage over this. That'd be serious that'd be serious. Samsung really has to take this more seriously if it's affecting people like that. Then we really got to get this update in people's hands. And I really hope this guy gets the S23 update very soon, for his sake. Yes, we've got One UI 8 before One UI 7. We're going to talk about that a little bit too as well. I mean, I don't think that's not going to happen. People keep saying that too. They're not going to do that. Yeah, that'd be pretty sad if the guy lost his wife and kids over the update. I hope that didn't really happen. I assume this was satire. That's why we put a disclaimer on the post. That says this is a satirical piece. All characters and heartbreaks are fictional except the update delays. Those are very real. And they are very real because people are heartbroken. I mean, this is a joke, which I assume it's a joke on Reddit. But lots of people are really upset about the delays. I read comments every day from people who look like they're about to have like a heart attack. I'm serious. I mean, I tell these people to calm down because I don't want them to seriously, I know it's upsetting, but don't have a heart attack over a software delay. See people like typing in all caps, 10 paragraphs in my YouTube comments. I'm not Samsung. Well, first of all, so I can't do anything directly about it. I could write about it. I could make content about it. I mean, I cover it all the time, but I can't give you the update. So, don't get your blood pressure up over the update. You can voice your displeasure. We can, write articles. We can contact Samsung and bring it to their attention. But I don't want anyone passing out, having a real heart attack over this.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yes, Carolyn, S24 FE will be in May, probably at the same time as the S23. That was the next question. When will Samsung release the update for the S23? Yes, probably May. That's my guess.
Yeah.
April Google Play System update. Well, we need the April security patch for the S25 Ultra first, and then the Google Play System update will probably come after that. But there's no April patch for the US for the S25 Ultra. If you have an S25 device, the Galaxy S25 started getting the April patch in Korea as well. Korea gets everything first. I mean, that's obviously usually the case with Samsung. That's their headquarters. So it should come here next week. I would think S24, Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6 will all get the stable One UI 7 next week in the US, like the hot fix if you already had it. And then I would imagine that after that, we'll probably see the S25 Ultra get stable One UI 7. And yes, the April update does bring live media player notifications for S25 Ultra, and it also brings camera improvements. I don't know what kind of improvements because I don't have it yet, obviously. People in Korea have it, and there really aren't that many people in Korea that make content on Samsung, at least none that I know of too much that post a lot of videos and stuff. So I haven't seen any camera samples. Okay. What was the next question? They are greedy? Yes, they are. Yeah, they are indeed. Our good friends there in AT&T, they want to get your they want to get all your money. So they're like, we got to get the bank account number so we can just take it out anytime.
I gotta say, still having AT&T, using it myself, I mean, it's just always a nightmare. With just how much they charge.
Tori's about to be moving over to Leica Mobile.
I was gonna ask, are we suggesting them? Because honestly, I tried Leica for about a month, and I saw a very similar service. And actually, just about every area where I get coverage in my AT&T, I got it with Leica. If you're looking for a different carrier to go with, I give a lot of push with Leica.
Would you say you Leica them a lot?
I do Leica them a lot.
I just came up with that now. That's going to go in our next integration for them. Yes. Australia One UI 7, that's a hard market to predict because Korea is going to get it first, then the US and Europe. Probably Australia and India will get it around the same time. I don't know. I want to say I feel like most markets next week will get this S24 update since it got delayed originally. So I feel like maybe Australia and India will get it by the end of next week. But that's just a feeling based on how they usually roll out things to the various regions. With One UI 7, everything is just who knows, because they just keep changing everything. So I'm basing this on past rollout schedules. And One UI 7 is exceptional in the sense that it's been delayed forever, and they just keep delaying it. Z Fold 7, AT&T does give you a lot of trade-ins value. Yeah, but that's because they want to lock you in so they can get your bank account number and just take all the monies from you.
and get you on that.
But they will give
that
you
financial. Like where you just pay every month, or get you on the.
But they will give you a crazy amount of trade-in value. Sometimes for every phone in the world, like you don't even have to trade in a Z Fold 6. You could trade in like a Galaxy A15 you bought on eBay for $50, and they'll give you $1,000 for it. Like that's a good deal. Like if you're going to stick with AT&T, if you don't mind paying and you don't mind their new policy on auto pay, it's not a bad deal to trade in a phone that's that old to get $1,000. Why didn't I get it for the US and I'm under Boost Mobile? Boost Mobile also is another. If it's carrier locked, it's because they hadn't rolled the update out before the pause. That's why. You'll get it now that it's going to resume next week. You should get it.
And who owns Boost again, or is Boost their own thing?
Boost is owned by T-Mobile now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Good old T-Mobile.
April 23rd for the S24 FE. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. That was probably something that was part of the original rollout schedule, but now with the update pause, I highly doubt it, because probably not even all the S24 units are going to have it, and the Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6. I'd be unlikely to believe that it will come for the FE on that day.
Yeah.
As soon as they get the one you have in May. Yes, most likely May. That is most likely the case. All of the various carriers have pushed back their estimates for the S23 until May. TELUS is the big one that pushed it back. We published their schedule. It's right here. And they said May for the S23. So that's what we're basing it on right here. This is the TELUS schedule. You guys see it? S23, April 22nd. This was their original schedule, right? This is what they said originally. But they updated this and said that now it's likely to receive it in May 2025.
Jeez.
So it looks like the April releases are only going to be these phones. S24 series, Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6, and of course, no one can forget the beautiful Galaxy Z Fold SE that I paid $3,000 to implement and import. It did get One UI 7 in a timely fashion, so it was money well spent. I got it before anything else aside from my S25. So, that's what you get for $3,000. You get service direct from Korea. You get the update on the same day as Korea because it's a Korean phone. I appreciate Samsung for that.
I mean, you really got to look. I mean, this just seems like, as an average Samsung user, I mean, I feel like most average Samsung users are probably oblivious to not getting the One UI 7. But
Boost is owned by Dish. Oh, maybe it's Metro is owned by T-Mobile. Sorry.
Oh yes, you're right. Metro is owned by.
That's my mistake. Yeah.
Boost is owned by T-Mobile.
Metro is the one that I actually have an S25 Ultra unit for. I bought at launch. You are in the chat because you're right now. You're on the screen. You're in the chat. He said he couldn't tell. He is.
No, he is.
Carrier locked. AT&T is not even rolled out the original rollout, so no idea. Probably next week, hopefully. But they didn't even roll it out in the initial phase before the pause. Biometrics and pen-based unlock method was the bug on the rollout. Where did you hear that from, Larry? I haven't heard a definitive cause. Did Samsung announce that somewhere that we missed? I haven't seen. If they announce that, or if you have an official source, certainly message us, Larry. You heard from Adam?
And
Googled it? Oh, well, I'll look at it and see. I don't know. We've been looking for a reason for a while. I haven't seen any sources that I fully well believe. But yeah, I guess you're saying Tech Odyssey. That's what you mean, Adam? Tech Odyssey. If you send me the source, I'll look at it. Sam Mobile also postulated that it could be due to a secure folder issue, which definitely is present as well. There's a secure folder issue that can leak your private photos inside the gallery using auto stories. So
people are not going to be happy about
I don't know. I mean, we don't really know the answer until Samsung officially says so. I mean, Ice Universe says he's not even sure what the reason is. But if you have a source, link it to me. Maybe we'll write up a speculative post. I don't want to say for sure though if we don't know from Samsung, or at least from someone very like Ice Universe. If he says it, then I'm happy to publish it as mostly fact. But he's been wrong about One UI 7 too. He said it was going to roll out for the resumption on a certain day, and then he's like, "Oh no, wait, that's still a build they can't roll out." So ICE hasn't even been
It's
accurate.
unpredictable. This is crazy. This One UI 7.
Yeah, One UI 7 has been like the mystery that cracks everyone, because even ICE Universe has had problems with this.
Even Samsung's having problems.
Is your phone lag doesn't necessarily mean your phone's vulnerable. I haven't had any issues on my devices. For secure folder, there is a bug. I made a video on this. I don't know if this is the reason they paused it. Again, we're all kind of speculating on why. Larry said maybe biometrics and pin-based unlock, but I haven't had any problems with this. Samsung did say, or ICE Universe said, that there was a problem with people getting locked out of their phones, but he never said what the problem was, and I haven't had any problems using my S24, my Z Flip 6, my Z Fold 6. So no, I don't know that it's a big like security vulnerability that you're gonna like get your information stolen. I wouldn't worry about that. But the secure folder does have a bug in One UI 7, at least the original version, where if you store photos in the gallery, it can auto-generate stories, and those are visible. And a notification, if it sends a push notification, it's visible outside of secure folder, and people can actually click it, and they can view your private photos that you put in secure folder. The only way to fix it right now is to turn off the auto-generate stories feature in settings, and then it won't do it. So that was one thing Sam Mobile highlighted, and we were able to reproduce that on the pre-hotfix update. So you might want to turn off auto-generate stories if you have stuff in secure folder gallery. Just an idea. If there is an issue with PIN and biometrics, I haven't seen it. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe Adam or Larry. Maybe that is the case. ICE Universe suggested it could also have to do with people getting locked out at one point, but I've seen no issue. So it must have been affecting a small subset or in certain instances, because I've used my own devices pretty heavily. I went and used the S24 a lot after I got the stable One UI 7 before it was paused, because I wanted to test performance. I never got locked out. I use the Z Flip 6 a lot too. Yes, the A36 that you won does have it. Boost Mobile should return. I will be honest though, sometimes Boost and some of those MVNOs, they get the update even after the original like big carriers. So like if you're on Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, then that kind of stinks. You get it a little bit later. Yeah, it's certainly I've read that this is something that's affecting people, but it's weird that they paused it on all devices. Maybe it was limited only to certain models, but they paused it everywhere to be cautious. Because as I said, I haven't had an issue with unlocking or biometrics. Corey, have you had any issues on your S25 Ultra?
No. I haven't.
So it's not a One UI 7. It's not a One UI 7 wide issue, obviously, because the S25 doesn't have the issue.
No.
And I don't think it's an issue, at least to the US S24 stable build, because I didn't have an issue there. Maybe they paused it everywhere because they were worried that some of the issues in Korea were also affecting other models. That's possible. But
it's better to get ahead of it. I think at this point they got to take an approach of, hey, like we got to figure out what's going on. I think they got to start figuring out what's going on with this update.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that. Love the channel. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, no official word from Samsung. There's a lot of people speculating. I wish Samsung would just comment on it. They should just stop.
Yes.
Because transparency is always the answer.
always the answer.
Well, Samsung hasn't released an official re-rollout schedule. The original schedule is still published. They're not going to tell you an exact date. They put months. Like the S24 FE is going to get it in May, but we don't know an exact date. I highly doubt Samsung publishes like a down to the day up schedule. They originally said that it would start April 7th, and that did happen. But as for like a long-term up to the day schedule, I highly doubt that. Yeah, I get it, because it could have been an S24 or Plus model. That's true, Larry. I don't have an S24 or S24 Plus any longer, because there just wasn't a reason to keep them. I already have 50 phones in here. I can't be keeping 100 phones. I traded my S24 in for the S25 and my S24 Plus for the S25 Plus, just because I usually only keep the Ultra like for several years worth of the Ultra. You could go to the moon and back.
You could.
It's true. Probably already could have if I had a spaceship, but the site doesn't do that well. I don't have enough money to buy a spaceship, but if I did, let's talk about One UI 8. So here's something crazy. We don't even have One UI 7 yet, And One UI 8 build already leaked, and we have an entire video of One UI 8 running on a Z Flip 6. The people at Sam Mobile got a video. They made a video, and it's on their YouTube channel. And they were able to run it on a Z Flip 6. This build was ripped from Samsung's testing server, where you can go and like see various test builds. It's not a secret where they got it. And they installed it on a Z Flip 6. Now you might ask, well, why didn't SammyGuru beat Sam Mobile to the point? Well, the reason is they had to flash this software on an international Z Flip 6, and I don't have one. I have a US model. So I cannot flash this build on my Z Flip 6. I ordered an international Z Flip 6, and I'm going to put it on there and play with One UI 8, and I'll have a video. But they also, a group of modders, people who like to customize and root their phones, they ported this One UI 8 build to a GSI, which is a generic system image, which you can flash on any Android phone, technically. And so I'm actually working on flashing this onto my Galaxy A56. So I will have One UI 8 on my Galaxy A56, and I'll probably make a video on that too. So hopefully I'll have that done tonight. I've had a lot of other work, so I haven't had a chance to finish, but I'm also kind of worried about destroying it since I haven't rooted a phone in a long time.
Yeah.
But I did successfully unlock the bootloader and root it last night. I just need to flash the GSI. So what is new about One UI 8? Well, there's not a ton of things, but here's the biggest important thing. Everybody who is upset that they weren't getting the Now Brief, the Now Brief is coming to other devices with One UI 8. So you'll now get the Now Brief on your other devices. So if you wanted the Now Brief and you were looking forward to having Now Brief and you were bummed out that you didn't get it on your Galaxy S24 with One UI 7, the Now Brief is going to come to at least the S24, the Z Flip 6, and the Z Fold 6 with One UI 8. So that's one exciting change. The Quick Share is also being revamped. This is not really a change that I think is specific to Samsung, but Google is changing Quick Share Android-wide. Of course, Samsung owns Quick Share, and they worked with Google to integrate it into Android as a whole. And so this is a change that's going to come to Android as a whole. There's going to be a sent and receive section for Quick Share. So you have two separate sections, one for where you're receiving files and one where you're sending files, which makes things a little more cleaned up.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is actually a change Google's making as a whole. We covered another post on it. This is coming to Android 16 overall, not just Galaxy phones, but this is coming to One UI 8. They also redesigned a few elements like the gallery. The gallery now has a little more transparency in it. You can see here, this is the One UI 8 gallery app compared to the One UI 7 gallery app and My Files. You can kind of see how it looks. There's a little more transparency, moving a few things around. No massive changes. I mean, of course, this is a very early build of the device. You can see the quick settings. They look pretty similar as well. They changed some things with the few of the tiles. Not a crazy change though from the design. And for what we know from what Sam Mobile showed, you can't really edit these any more than you could on One UI 7. But it's nice to see Samsung's making progress. I think maybe this really just pissed people off more though, because they're like, well, Samsung hasn't even finished doing One UI 7, and they're already doing One UI 8. But I mean, this is how it has to work, right? They have to be testing these things years ahead of, a year ahead of time. They can't just roll new OSs. So they didn't release this. Someone ripped this from their server. It got put on there by accident, obviously. They didn't want anyone to rip it. But people are always watching the test servers, and someone grabbed it. And that's just the way it is. So I'm going to install this One UI 8 build and play with it and have fun. Sam Mobile beat us to the punch. Congratulations to them. That's great work. They did great work there. Hey, I'm always willing to admit when people do great work. It was great to see a tour. I watched their video. You should watch it as well. Go check out the video on their channel, One UI 8 hands-on, that they have over there.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even throw it in the chat if I can find it. Hold on a second. I'll put it in there. People can go and check it out. Let me see here. One UI 8. How is their video not the top video? It really should be. I mean, they've got the most relevant content when it comes to this. I feel like they should have the top ranked video on there. Let me see if I can put this in the chat here. How come I can't tap on the stream? What's going on with that? Ah.
Try to get the tablet rolling.
Yeah, I'm trying to use the tablet, but it's not working. Weird. All right. I am definitely not very good at live streaming, admittedly. Colin is usually the one that is doing all the chat stuff. It really does not work. It will not let me tap it. What is the deal? The tablet 24 FE Plus is broken over here. All right, here we go. Here it is. I'm going through great lengths to promote somebody else's content. That's how you know I'm a fair and unbiased guy. You guys can check that out when you get a chance if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it. It's interesting, and they go through all the changes of what has been seen in One UI 8. Log video is coming to the other models, yes, as well. Daniel from Sam Mobile showed that as well. Yes, you're right, Larry. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. Suggested replies. I don't think they found anything about that. Of course, when I get it, when I install it, I'm going to do a deep dive into One UI 8. I'm not saying Sam Mobile missed anything, but I'm going to do my own deep dive and see if I find anything else. I mean, it doesn't look like there's a lot new. This is a very early build, so I wouldn't really, expect this to be like crazy change. Plus, we already know One UI 7 is a massive change. So One UI 8, like you don't expect that to be a huge change, right?
Yeah, it should be a smaller one, right? And then and it doesn't look like it's too bad of a change. It looks like they're all welcome
Google
additions.
I/O. You want to know when it was Google I/O? May 20 to 21st. Big. There you go. That's when it is. I loved going to Google I/O before COVID, but now they don't invite very many media anymore. So it's only like the top media, like MKBHD or The Verge. Maybe one day SammyGuru will get there, but they don't invite very many people in person. I went to Google I/O like 3 times before COVID. I used to go all the time. It's a lot of fun to go out there and get all that new Android stuff hands-on. Friend that uses S21 Ultra, will he get One UI 7? Should, because the S21 is scheduled for the update. It's going to be its last major update. So it should, yeah. Unlocked Global S24 series. Should start getting it this upcoming week because Korea started getting the re-rollout after the pause. So you should start getting it then. Got so much info. Do you work for Samsung? Well, we do this for a living.
Yeah.
We have
he's the guru.
We have like 4 of us. We have like 4 of us who do nothing but this. Me and our writers at SammyGuru. We have 3 full-time staff writers now. All we do is look for Samsung news all the time during the workday and make content on Samsung. So this is my full-time job as well as the other 3 guys who work for me. So Tori is a high school teacher, but he is an avid Samsung fan.
Yes.
And so he brings kind of that casual perspective to the podcast. Speaking of which, Tori, since we're getting later in the podcast, I was going to ask you, it's been 3 months since you got your S25 Ultra. What do you think so far? 3 months in with the S25 Ultra, what would you say? How are you liking it over the S22 Ultra? Do you regret upgrading or not?
Okay, so and I think we kind of talked about this. I think the last time I saw you, I honestly still give it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoy this phone. Do I miss the S22? Yes, but now that I've kind of had it for a while, and I think about, I would say like the biggest issue I think I had with the S22, even though I really love that phone, was just how hot it got. I mean, it really seemed like it couldn't handle a lot.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah, the thermal situation. Is much better.
Yeah, hot so much. I mean, I could be running a game or like Pokemon Pocket and stuff like that, and it would just get hot, or Phoenix hot. But like this has honestly been a really cool to the touch.
You don't want things that are getting hot by themselves because in the summer it's like 120 degrees outside.
Yeah, I know.
But what would you say you missed from the S22? I'm curious.
See, from the S22,
like compared with what is missing, or what do you feel like you had a connection with on that phone that the S25 doesn't necessarily have?
Well, okay, all right. So for the S22, it just seemed to me like a lot more like the design. What I miss, like the curved.
You like the curved edges, yeah.
Yeah. I like the curved edges. Just like the design and the sleek. It just felt like a very sleek phone. To me, it doesn't. The S25 does not feel like a sleek phone. Like it just feels like a very nice phone. Like a very premium phone, but I wouldn't say it's sleek. But you know, when I just the whole vibe of it with the with the sorry, not the AirPods.
Buds 3 Pro.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's right. I gave
don't
Tori,
come at me. No.
I gave Tori some Buds 3 Pro. How are you liking the Buds 3 Pro? I forgot I gave you those.
Oh yeah,
You like them?
No, so far I actually really do like them, but I probably have to say in terms of the design, I think I prefer the Buds 2 Pro
because they actually go deeper in the
they
ear.
actually go deeper in your
Don't
ear.
have the stem design.
Yeah, you don't have the stem design, and it's really hard to kind of like figure out like how to pause and keep the music going. Like, you have to kind of find that sweet spot. I don't know if anyone
On the
else,
stem, yeah,
is also experiencing that. But it's a direction that they went in, and I still think they're very good quality. Now that I've had about
the sound quality is good on the Buds 3 Pro.
The sound quality is actually very good.
The stem design was polarizing. We talked about it with the launch because they do look more like AirPods now.
Yeah, they do,
which pisses a lot of people off. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's
yeah. But I mean, honestly though, I still thoroughly enjoy this phone. The only thing that's kind of lackluster is obviously the Now Brief. If I don't wear my watch at night, like I literally
there's like nothing in there.
Yeah, there's nothing. I just get the weather and stuff.
I mean, all of you guys who want the Now Brief, I know you're probably happy because it's going to come in One UI 8 if you have an S24. But honestly, you're not missing anything because it just aggregates a bunch of widgets right now. It might get better on One UI 8. Maybe they'll expand it. Oh, by the way, there are 2 new things coming to the Now Brief. We actually spotted these before Sam Mobile did because these were actually in the S24 build. They were just hidden. We launched them with Activity Launcher. You're now going to have 2 new options inside the Now Brief. One of those options is, I can't remember what they are. They're not listed here. What were the 2 that were there? Man, Larry will remind me. What were the 2? Let's look them up. Now, I see someone saying, I know everything about Samsung. I don't because I cover so much stuff. I forget all the stuff.
Yes.
We covered this before they even had this. Here it is. Battery status. Here you go.
Oh, there you go.
Battery status. And what was the other one? Battery status and block messages. So Now Brief might be adding a couple more features. So in One UI 8, it might get even better. But right now, it's really not that great. Like, unless you have a ring, like I have the Galaxy Ring, Tori has the watch on. If you have those, then you get some more deep insights like your sleep, like your energy score.
Yeah, it comes right up.
It gives you a little more information that isn't just, widget aggregation, but otherwise it's mostly just pulling from various apps and putting it all in one spot.
Yeah. It's like widget central.
Yeah.
So if I don't wear my watch, I don't get anything in the morning. But it is really nice when I do get that stuff because I especially you got to really take care of yourself. So it really is nice to kind of know how far off I'm falling and my sleep or my energy, and I can kind of help.
I do feel like it's gotten better with the energy score and the sleep score because I do see moments sometimes, Larry. Yeah, if I take a lot of pictures of my kids. But I feel like it's gotten better. In the beginning, the sleep score and energy score, I'd be like, oh, your energy score is like a 98. And I'll be like, oh no, I feel like garbage today. Like this can't be right, surely.
And then, I don't have the ring, so I don't know.
And then,
it should be accurate.
And so now I feel like if it gives me like a 90, then I'm like, yeah, that's about right. I mean, I feel really good. Or if it gives me like a 50, I'm like, I feel kind of crappy today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to push it today, if I'm going to be executing at a high level. So it does a pretty good job. Why don't they release 8.0 instead of 7? That's a good question, Derek. The answer is 8.0 is not ready. Even though this build came out, it's a leaked build. It's an early build. It's not ready. I'm sure it's got tons of bugs. And I will tell you guys once I flash it. As Frank said, don't hurry. Yeah, take your time with the flash. Yeah, I will. Tonight I'm going to try to finish it. I used to root phones all the time and mod my phones. 10 years ago when Android was all about modding and rooting, I used to do that. And I could do it in my sleep. But I haven't rooted a phone in probably 6-7 years because there's just, people don't do it. US Samsung phones can't even be bootloader unlocked anymore. So it's almost impossible to root your phone and do anything in the US, which is why you need an international device. Samsung does not send me very many free devices. They send me some, but 95% of what I own, I bought. Samsung sent me an S25 Ultra review unit, but I had to return it. If you're media, they don't let you keep it. It's not free. So I've got a bunch of S25s, but I bought all of them. The TV back here, which I still have to set up because I didn't get the stand assembled yet this week. This OLED Samsung sent me. Well, actually, their affiliate marketing company sent me to help, do some TV content. So I get some free stuff, but not everything I get from Samsung's free. most of the phones and tablets and stuff I buy myself. Hopefully they can improve One UI 7 on tablets. Yes, it looks like trash. Larry is talking about this article that Josh and I collaborated on earlier. One UI 7 does not look good on tablets. This is how it looks on the Tab S10 FE Plus.
A lot of
this is the notifications. Look at all this wasted space.
A lot of wasted
I made a video on it too on the SammyGuru channel, and it's like you could put the Grand Canyon and all this wasted space.
You really can.
And Josh made a concept. Oh, and also look, the notifications are right down the middle. So you got all this wasted space on the sides. Like, look at all this space and all this space when you're in the notification panel. You know, not good. But here, this is the concept that Josh made, one of our writers, who's also, he's a graphic designer as well. He made this concept of what it could look like. Looks way better. Samsung should steal this and just implement it ASAP. They basically just took the phone UI and slapped it on the tablet. It looks really bad.
Yeah.
So I really hope they take it seriously, because it's just very, you know, it's not easy for them to compete already with the iPad, because a lot of Android apps aren't optimized for tablets. But then they don't even bother optimizing their own operating system for tablets.
Not at all.
Then, like, who's going to want to buy $700 to $1,000 tablet if the OS looks so bad? So I've not been super happy with the way the OS looks on the Tab S10 FE Plus. So no donut for you. Uh-oh. Hey, how's it going, Brazil? Brazil's in the house, Marcelo. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're giving anybody any donuts, you know? People always are asking in my channel, like, how do I have all these updates when they don't have them? Well, I have a ton of phones. So Samsung rolls the updates out in waves. I got like 30 Samsung phones. So, of course, I'm bound to get 1 or 2 updates on each of them. But yeah, I mean, they've been slow with updates for the last year, because One UI 7 development is obviously like really hit a bottleneck for them. I keep telling people, though, you know, try to be a little understanding, because they were doing great with updates for the previous like 4 years. So hopefully they're going to go back to that after they get One UI 7 ironed out. I understand how annoying it must be.
Yes.
Using Buds 3 Pro with his AI Vision TV to watch and listen to the cast right now. There you go, Larry. Larry's got a brand new 2025 AI Vision TV. I'm going to be making some tutorials on the new watch gestures with the TVs. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
you can now control your TV from your Galaxy Watch, which will be
that'd be really cool.
Fun. One UI is not good right now for the S25 or Ultra. What do you mean? It's paused still in the US, the rollout. It resumed in Korea, but they should be resuming it next week in the US. So if you have an S24 Ultra, should get it next week for sure. And on channels like Droid Life, which they don't have an app no more in the Play Store. I don't have an app in the Play Store yet, but we probably will make an app eventually. I love the guys at Droid Life. Droid Life is still doing their thing. Tim and Kellen, I like those guys a lot. I had a chance to meet them a couple of times at Google I/O. And I love the podcast that they used to do at Droid Life as well. I got a lot of inspiration from Droid Life for what I do. So huge respect to them. They still run Droid Life. They just don't post as much. I think those guys realize that they got older and they've got families, and they're so established because, you know, they started doing this early on. They get like massive traffic from Google News. So they only need to write a couple articles a week, and then they can cash the checks, and they don't need to write too much. But when you're a smaller startup site like us, you got to cover stuff constantly. So
yeah, you do.
You know, who knows? In 20 years, if Samsung will still be a thing in 20 years. You know, I might be like, hey, maybe we just need to write 5 articles a week. Hopefully not. But I understand why they did it, because they have families, and it is very hard to cover the news 24/7. Bama fans not impressed with One UI 7. I mean, first of all, I love Bama. Roll Tide.
I was gonna say,
Tori loves Bama.
Roll Tide.
We're both Bama fans, as is my mother. She lives in Alabama still.
What she commented.
Yeah, she commented down here too.
Yeah, RTR, Roll Tide Roll.
Yeah, Roll Tide Roll. I mean, I like One UI 7 on phones. I just don't like it on tablets. It doesn't look very good on tablets.
Yeah.
I don't like the rollout issues, but I mean, I think once you get it on your phone, it's been a good experience for me. I think I've done that since the time of HTC phones. Yes, rooting and flashing is not something people really do much of, especially in the US, which is why US phones, Samsung phones can't be bootloader unlocked. So you can't really flash anything, root anything. So that's one of the reasons why, unfortunately, I could not get the One UI 8 build loaded right away because I could not unlock my Z Flip 6. It's a US one. So we could not beat Sam Mobile to the punch because Sam Mobile, the guy who made the video, Daniel Scooter, he's in Australia, and he has the B, the version of the Z Flip 6, which is bootloader unlockable. So that was the situation there. But that's okay. I'll get it eventually, and we'll have fun. You know, it's all in good fun. So please tell Sam to learn to pass information to users. Yes, I agree. They should. They should place software information on their official Samsung mobile channels. That's for sure.
No, I kind of have
get a job. Well, we will be hiring some more writers at some point. I don't know when we'll hire the next writer. We just hired a third full-time writer. I'm always looking for freelancers, which means part-time writers for 1 or 2 pieces. You can always email me, jeff@sammyguru.com. But we'll probably hire another full-time or part-time writer in July around the time of the foldable launch. So if people are interested, we will hire some more people because we continue to get more traffic. So,
and then I have a quick question that kind of going off of that communication one and just information. I'm kind of, as a regular like Joe Schmo with Samsung, not really up with the updates and stuff, but like, why is it that they just won't put out information? Do you think they don't want to put out information?
Is your name Joe Schmo? I thought your name was Tori. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
All this time, this guy, his name was Joe Schmo, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think it's because they feel like if they officially put something in writing, and you know, the nature about software updates and all the development of software is like there can always be a delay.
Yeah.
And so like if you put something in writing that says, just like they did, which is what they did put a press release out back in March that says the One UI 7 rollout starts on April 7th with these models. And so they felt like they were held to that. And then what did they do? They released it and then they found a bug.
Yeah.
And so one could say maybe because they had held themselves to that specific date, maybe they released it before fully ready to release it. So maybe because of that, they feel like if they put a specific date, then that pigeonholes them into doing that. And then they don't have freedom to change it.
Well, they can still keep the month, or something like that. But like, you know, like for just how big of a debacle the One UI 7 has just been entirely, I feel the people need to be given some type of explanation or something. You know, just saying, hey, look, we really want this to work. Just give us some time. This is what we're seeing. Just to hold people over. I mean, because like people may begin to lose the confidence in Samsung, and I just think the people need to know and hear from them.
Yeah, they actually did the opposite of that because if you look here, they actually said that the delay could happen again. They actually put out a statement that said it's possible that they could delay it again. They put out a statement, but the statement wasn't what people wanted to hear. They wanted to hear that they had a specific date for every single model, and they said the update may also be halted for a while, even after the official update, when an emergency fix has occurred. So there's like, hey, if you guys get the updated hotfix, great. But if you guys have an older model, it could be paused at any time. Who knows? We could pause at any time we want, which is not what people want, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You got the bug report. I like that. Gives you your. I like that very much. That's the technical kind of jargon that we love on this site. That's when you stopped having been to XDA. Yeah, because the lock bootloaders in the US, it's really hard. If you like Samsung, now of course there's other phones you can unlock the bootloader and flash away and have a good time. I have a couple Xiaomi phones that I use just for fun that I played with for a while doing that. But with what I do at Samsung, I cover Samsung as my job. Rooting is not really a part of that job right now because no one's really doing that. If you're like, you know, in the US or even in other regions, this just happens to be one specific instance where rooting a phone or being able to unlock the bootloader was very helpful to be able to flash this. And that's one of the reasons why, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it going was I didn't have the right model to really do anything with that. So No, it's okay. No, it's no problem for the question.
Yeah, no, not at all, man.
I'm trying to think what else we haven't talked about from this week's news. There's
It's
probably a little more news. A couple of updates. Here's a fun thing. Last night we discovered that Samsung could be potentially getting ready to release 2 of their elusive good lock modules in other regions. So these are only in Korea right now, and people have been wanting them for a long time in the US and other regions. Those are Dropship and Galaxy to Share. So Dropship is like a super sized version of QuickShare. It's like QuickShare but on steroids, which lets you share your files across devices, even with iPhones. Really? So basically, like, you can use AirDrop from a Galaxy to an iPhone, essentially. And Galaxy to Share lets you export all of your Good Lock or Galaxy settings and export them to someone else, and they could automatically install them. So, like, if I had all these cool custom things on my phone, and Tori said, well, hey, I want some of those cool things on my phone, I could just export the settings. He could download it, hit an install button, and all those settings would be changed on his phone.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah,
so here's the thing. Sumit, who's our lead writer, our editor in chief at SammyGuru, he noticed that on his S24 Ultra running One UI 7, when you open Good Lock now, Dropship and Galaxy to Share appear. This has beta tag on it. For a second, it goes away. So it doesn't stay there. It pops up for a second and then it goes away. So it could be that Samsung is planning to bring these outside of Korea because they've never been visible in any other regions. I haven't been able to see this yet, but all the guys in India who write for us have been able to see it. So at least it's encouraging. And it's also, these are in English because in Korea, they're obviously in Korean, all the descriptions. So the fact that these are now in English could potentially mean that we might see these 2 modules come outside of South Korea. That would be huge because I would have a lot of fun with Galaxy to Share. I could make some videos and then, easily, share those with you guys, my settings and things like that. So do you know how to look it up? Oh, you've got to use like the Android debugging tool for that. Like Android Studio, which I have. Do I have it open right now? Yeah. You can use Android Studio, which I don't have that screen shared right now, but you can use the Android debugging tools to debug your, if you mean like using the bug report from your export from your phone. Happy Friday, everybody. Great start to the weekend. We do. My kids and I are going to the Cottontail Lane to get some, we're going to do some Easter egg hunts. Yeah, no, maybe replaced with potatoes and or marshmallows due to the cost. I'm going to be dying some I'll be dying some marshmallows. I'll be like, hey, you guys, who wants to find the golden marshmallow? If you find the golden marshmallow, it might have $5. Yeah. Or you can use it to make a s'more later. Yes. Put it on some graham crackers, some chocolate. Boom. There you go. What's up, Robert? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing?
Definitely be getting an email. Yes. Yeah, email me. Yeah. For sure. We're always looking for freelancers. So, if you're interested.
And then that was a good question, too. All right. Let's go to one.
Oh, yeah. You can. What question?
And this one, will it be worth?
Will it be worth? I mean, a base S24? If you're talking about a base S24, maybe. But my still concern with the S25 Edge is I'm really worried about the battery life. Until I have one and test it, I don't want to tell anybody they should buy it, even though I should, because then people could get a mystery box and make me money. I don't know if I really should tell you to buy it because the battery is very thin and has a small battery for the size of the phone. So I would say if you're not concerned about battery life and you really care about thinness, then sure, it would be worth it. It probably won't have worse battery life than the base S24 because that's pretty small battery too. But it has a bigger screen, so I don't know. I mean, if you want a bigger screen, you really love thinness, I guess. But my main concern with that phone really is the battery. Is that small battery? It's only 3,900 milliamp hours. That's small for a big screen. You're losing a lot of milliamp hours, and it's got the same size screen. It's basically an S5 Ultra. It's going to be a little suspect. Get a half an egg. I don't know if that'll be as much fun for the kids. They'll be like, "Uh-oh, I got all this egg yolk on my hands while I was hunting for eggs." And they're not too upset about that.
Uh,
Barbecue. There you go.
There you go.
A little barbecue.
Yeah, I
I
do
like a
me
little
some good
barbecue. A little Easter Q barbecue.
I know.
Roast Easter ribs. Put the ribs on.
Yeah. Man, that makes me miss Alabama because there's just so much good barbecue
Yeah,
there.
you can just head on over to the barbecue.
I know.
Say,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. You just walk
are
out
you
of your
guys,
house.
are you guys heading out to the cookout tonight? We're like, yeah, I am. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Samsung's
there.
Windows app? What do you mean by their Windows app? Do you mean Windows Decks? Which Windows app? Samsung has a lot of Windows app. Do you mean their settings? I'm curious what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Like Samsung's Windows experience. I have a Galaxy book, but I don't know. You know, it all just depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm checking on the old Parlizzles. You know, I gotta check the old Parlizzles. We gotta see what's happening over here. Kyle Schwarber's going yard. Oh yeah. Well, I need Aaron Judge. I need him to hit some dingers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he does? He hits dingers, guys. Aaron Judge always hits dingers.
And then I just saw too, like, which I know they can't catch a break. I know we're getting off topic, but
we're getting way off topic
I know.
on these dingers. But hey,
but hey, like, you know, they fired the Suns coach, which I think may have been needed.
You mean Budenholzer?
Yes,
Mike Budenholzer.
It may have been needed. I mean, they're struggling, but I don't even know what can save the Suns.
What can save the Suns? They're going to need to bring in LeBron James at 41 years old, taken from the Lakers.
Yeah.
And what they really need is Bronny, I think, too.
Yeah.
Get Bronny over here. Where do you find Android Studio? If you just Google Android Studio, it's Google's tool for developing Android apps. It's right here. I'll put the link in there for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Android Studio. You can download it. I mean, I'm on my MacBook Pro, which I use for editing, so this should take you to the right download page, though, for Windows if you have it. Waiting for the new update on the S25 Ultra. Yes, the April update should be coming next week. Mm-hmm. Hey, AT&T will probably get that first, or T-Mobile, one of the carriers, because I'll tell you right now, the unlock models never get any love for the updates on the S25 so far. So
yeah,
maybe you'll get that first. I keep clicking on the wrong window because I have the back end open of SammyGuru. What else we got before we get to trivia? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Well, I kind of had a thing as you're kind of talking about the 25 Edge. You know, because we talked about this before, like in a few earlier episodes of the podcast.
Way early on.
Yeah.
When we didn't even know the name of the S25 Edge.
Yeah, I know. But like, you know, there was this trend of going from slab phones to the foldables, and now it seems like the foldables are slowing down. And is the slim going back to being thin? Is that going to be the next trend? Where do you kind of foresee us going in this phone trend?
I don't know, man. I really don't think foldables are ever going to eclipse the volume of slab phones, to be honest. Maybe rollables or something else will come out of the woodwork and replace them. But foldables have too many issues that I just don't see being mitigated to the point where the average consumer is willing, you know, like the average person is going to buy it. The cost will come down, but like the durability is a concern. The crease, you know, I love my Z Fold SE. I mean, special edition, but like it still has a crease. Like you can see it. It's got a crease. You can't get rid of the crease with the current tech. And even as they develop more things with like flexible OLEDs, there's display quality issues that you sacrifice to get rid of the crease or decrease it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe when Apple releases it, something will happen.
Yeah.
Because Apple tends to have an impact on the market. But
I think so too. That could be a change depending on whatever Apple does. But yeah, I just don't see that traction for the foldables at the moment as much as I thought.
I mean, I can tell you the data point from, you know, our mystery box stuff. We do like 10 times more mystery box shipments than we do for the S launch versus the Z launch. So if that's any indication of how many enthusiasts buy slabs over foldables, you would think enthusiasts would buy foldables more than the average person. And already our audience buys the S line 10 times more than the Z line. We shipped over 1,300 mystery boxes, which means more than 1,300 people ordered an S phone for the S25 launch. Last year in August or July, we only shipped around, I don't remember, like 200, maybe not even that, but some of those were duplicate orders for watches, orders for the Z launch. So, I mean, I expect we'll have more this year, but that's just because of SammyGuru gets a lot of traffic now. So we're getting more people to sign up. Yeah. But we're still going to have less than we did, you know, for the S launch. People just don't buy the foldables at the same clip. You know what I mean? Samsung Windows, maybe he meant the link to Windows. Yeah, it is a little tricky. Also, it's kind of annoying. Samsung has a lot of duplicate functionality. Like Link to Windows does all kinds of stuff, that Samsung already has as well, like camera share, file share. And so I think some people are confused. They're like, should I use file share or should I use the link to Windows option to browse files on my phone? And like, why all these duplicate things? If you're going to have link to Windows, maybe work with Windows to make that the best it could possibly be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't confuse me because obviously I know what's going on, but some people who don't, you know. Oh, here's another PSA. I'm going to post a video about this over the weekend, but I noticed about 2 days ago, Samsung News started sending me a bunch more notifications, push notifications. And I was trying to figure out why. I was like, why do I get like 8 notifications on Wednesday? I usually get like 2 because I opted in for breaking news and the news briefs. And so I looked into it, and Samsung updated their notification push policy with the newest version of Samsung News, which is 7.1. And now, basically, if you opted in for Samsung News notifications ever, any kind, they just opted you in for all the different categories of news.
Yeah.
So now I was getting like all these polls and all this other stuff I never signed up for. You can turn it off by going into the news settings. And I made a video just alerting people to this so they know. But they didn't really make this obvious because this is in the notices section of the app. They didn't like tell you or push you a notification saying, if you don't want all this spam, make sure you turn all these categories off. It's kind of hidden in the notices section. Most people don't ever read that. So if you've been getting a lot more Samsung News notifications, or if you start getting a lot more of them, this is the reason. I was wondering why, and I figured this out the other night, so we wrote it up. It's kind of disappointing. I feel like Samsung should have made this clear. I still use Samsung News and Google News. You're probably like, well, who uses Samsung News versus Google? Well, I do, because obviously I cover Samsung, so I use both to kind of aggregate a lot of this stuff to figure out sources for things we cover. You can also turn Samsung News off entirely, but I use Google and Samsung to discover various sources for our coverage. So that's another thing I wanted to mention. Anyway, I think probably a good time to start thinking about some trivia. Trivia. Everybody likes a little trivia. Trying to decide.
That guy's comment.
Samsung's turning into 4 guys in a garage writing code. Yep, that's right. 4 guys, and it could be down to 3 guys soon because one of them is probably going to have to start doing customer support because there's a lot of complaints rolling in lately.
Yeah,
so.
no, they got it.
Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. GoodLock is now available globally. That's another big piece of news this week. So if you're in a region where you couldn't get GoodLock before, it's now available on the Galaxy Store and the Play Store around the world. And he said he has it in Nigeria. Some of the modules are not available for download. You're correct, Jeffrey. We actually wrote up an article about that. We got articles for everything.
Everything.
Like, you got questions, we got answers at SammyGuru. You want to know what's going on? We've got our finger on the pulse. Right here. GoodLock goes global, but some modules are missing. So Samsung has not included certain modules. Some of the modules don't show up directly, but they appear when searching manually. And then some of them are not available at all yet. So some of the GoodLock modules are available, like Theme Park, Wonderland, Edge Lighting, Camera Assistant, etc. Navstar and QuickStar, you can actually search and find them, but some of them, like Home Up, are not yet available in all markets. Now, I did reach out to Samsung for comment on this, and hopefully they'll get back to us. I reached out yesterday. Their PR people are kind of slow with getting back to us. So maybe one day they'll realize, that we are a publication they should respond to. It'd be nice quickly, but because we always cover all things, it's all Samsung here. But I did ask them if they're all going to be available globally. So hopefully Home Up will come to all the regions eventually. We'll see what happens. But let's jump into the trivia. So for those of you guys who are new here for trivia, Sound Assistant, yes, some of the modules are not yet available, but hopefully they will be. And when Samsung responds to us, hopefully they will. I will certainly update. We'll have an article on that. So bookmark the site, check it out.
Yep. And
we'll definitely update that post. But trivia, if you're new to the podcast, we do trivia every week at the end of the show. We'll have 2 questions, one from me, one from Tori this week, where if you answer, the first person to answer in the chat will win a $25 gift card if you're international, Amazon gift card, whatever.
Yep.
But if you're in the US, I do have some more prizes. I have some more power banks because they sent out some. Basis said they would send out a few more. So I'll send the power bank. If you have won a power bank already, I'll try to find another prize from my closet of prizes. I'll try to give you some options. So, Tori, do you have a question yet? Or
Yeah.
Tori's working on his question. He's firing it up. He's going to fire in the question, and I'll type in the chat when the question's going live so you guys know. Almost 2 a.m. That's getting kind of late, yes.
I don't know. Is this too easy?
Oh, actually, we could do that one.
I was trying to do
We
something.
could do this. Let's do this. Tori's got a good question. Yeah, here we go. Let's see.
Yep.
No, let's not say that. Actually, let's make it a little harder. The slogan.
Yes.
Okay.
All spelled out.
Okay, but first I'm going to say the question's going in.
Mm-hmm.
Trivia number 1 is going in the chat. Okay, just so you guys can prepare, so it's fair. I'm going to say this. Makes it a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Greeting/slogan. There we go. All right. Earlier in the show, we mentioned our favorite college football team. What's the popular fan greeting/slogan for our favorite team? Greeting or slogan, though. That's the favorite team. But what is the greeting or slogan that fans use when greeting each other? It's actually the name of one of the other people. I'll accept that. I'm going to accept that because that is sometimes the abbreviation.
Yeah, RTR. Yep.
RTR, Roll Tide Roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take that because sometimes people do say RTR as well.
Yeah.
We will take that this time. Squiggly, you are winner. Are you from the US or are you international? It doesn't really matter right now, but email Jeff at SammyGuru.com and let me know if you're in the US, your shipping address. If you're international, your email, and I can send you. Okay, you're in the US, so go ahead and send me that. Yeah, go ahead and send me that. J Kid, we are doing the trivia now. We got one more question, and it's going to be going in a second here. We're still doing it. We're still doing it. There's still one more question. There's 2 trivia questions this week.
Yes.
Tori did his. I'm trying to think of mine. I'm trying to think of one that's just going to blow people's minds. Okay, here we go.
The Taylor series expansion. I'm just kidding.
I've got one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, trivia number 2 is about to go in now. I'm going to post it in the chat so you guys have a chance. If you're, I don't want you guys to leave the chat. That way, it's going in. You can get ready, get those fingers ready to fire it off. I'm going to give people a chance to see it. Now Brief is set to get 2 new features in an upcoming update. Which 2 features will be adding according to our article discussed on today's show? What are the name of those 2 features from the article we discussed? 2 new features, 2 new things that Now Brief can aggregate. Google Sports is already in there, is in the Now bar. Battery is close, but I want the exact names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it is 2. A battery thing. It is battery something. And then one other one. We're getting close. People are trying to get their fingers on the pulse. All you got to do is search the website.
Yep.
Look on SammyGuru. All you got to do is go to SammyGuru, go to the search bar.
Yeah.
You just go to the search bar, you type in Now Brief. Close, Larry. I want the exact names of the features, though. It is a battery one. Battery what, though? Gallery is not the other one, though. Oh. There you go.
There you go.
Battery status, but I'll take update. That's reasonable. Maybe he didn't search the article, but that's the same thing as status. I'll accept that. And blocked messages, battery update and block messages. So you'll have a feature in Now Brief where you can get your battery status and your blocked messages will be listed as well, which actually might be a very interesting thing to add to Now Brief, because sometimes I be blocking people all the time.
Yep.
But I want to know if they're still messaging me. I'm like, are those people stalking me or what? So I could see it. That's fine. I'm gonna take it because it's the same. It's the spirit of the feature. I mean,
Yes,
it's the right.
yes, it is.
That's what it gives you. It tells you, your updates on your battery. Okay, you can email me again too. I know you won last time. That's fine though, because you did get it correct. We had only a few people competing, but we had a pretty good show today. We had a peak of like 70 in here. We had about an average of 55 to 60. Very good. Had a lot of fun. We'll do it at the same time next week.
Yep.
Hopefully Colin can come back. If Colin can't make it, we'll try. I don't know what we're gonna do. Like everyone can't make it at the same time. It's like, what are we gonna do? We need the team together.
Yes, we do.
Because the team has to be a team. And there's no I in team.
There is no I in team.
But there is a SammyGuru in team.
Yes.
Wait. I don't know if there is.
No.
Maybe not. I was never great at spelling. That's why I got a degree in math. That's why. That's why I did a master's in PhD program in math, not spelling.
Same.
I don't think they offer a PhD in math and spelling anyway. So that's why spelling. No one cares about spelling. When you go live, we go live 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, and usually the show is about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half long. So around 5:45, 6 o'clock, we'll be winding down Arizona time. 8:45, 9 o'clock Eastern. Next week we'll be back. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. You didn't send me your address. So send me your address so that Basis can mail you your power bank, and then I'll send you your other prize for this week. So yeah. Oh, Larry, don't do that to me. No. I was watching that game while I was working. The Diamondbacks were up 11-8. They scored 10 runs in one inning. I don't appreciate you, Larry. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're welcome, Big.
Yes.
We'll be back next week. Make sure you stay tuned to the site. I'm sure we'll have some good stuff this weekend. Hopefully Monday I'll have that One UI 8 video up where I'll be talking about One UI 8. And hopefully I don't brick my A56 trying to flash the GSI. But, I have enough phones that if I brick one, I'll be okay.
Oh, you do.
So don't cry for me too much. Anyway, this week, thanks everybody for joining. And this week, make sure, keep expanding your galaxy.
Boom.